afternoon, and welcome to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. My name is Kathya Davis, your host, and we go until 2 o'clock on this amazing sports show. Coming up in the show today, lots to talk about. We're going to be talking about some football, what's going on in the English Premier League, but not only that, Jamaica under 20 team. We're also going to be talking about the Reggae Girls, yes, and as well as the who would have made it to the under 14 and under 16 of the urban area finals. Then we're going to go into some track and field as the Carifta Games that's on. Carifta Trials is on at the National Stadium, started yesterday, and it will conclude tomorrow. And then I have a marvelous guest with me in studio today, and we're going to talk about basketball and how the Jamaica team fared against Bahamas and against Canada. Right, so you want to stick and stay for that. And then we just have cricket is going on. Tomorrow is the ICC T20 World Cup final, so that's also going on as well. And I think today's FA Cup, but also in football, today, the Jamaica Women's Premier League kicks off today. And I went to the launch earlier this week, and I had such a fantastic time, I tell you. So, did I tell you I have a lot to talk about? I have a lot to talk about. I don't know how I'm going to fit all this in 1 hour, but let's try to do that. So, first of all, I always try to start with what's going on in the English Premier League, and then we try to make our way down to the local league and what's going on with the national team. So let's start with that, as I will start today with the results from the English Premier League. So whilst the English Premier League is not on today, they had in the week games, because today the FA Cup. The FA Cup still in some rounds of something, not necessarily that important, but I still want to talk about how the title race is going on as it relates to, is Arsenal choking or is Manchester City gaining some grounds? We're going to talk about that. So let's now talk about the games that happened this week. Let's talk about the games that would have happened this week in the English Premier League. If I could only find, okay, there we go. See, easy to find. So we would have been in round number 29 of the English Premier League. And so I'll give you the full results of round number 29, which would have taken place from Tuesday until Thursday, right? Tuesday to Thursday, round 29 of the English Premier League. Now, Sunderland, they defeated Leeds 1-0. Everton, they defeated Burnley 2-0. Bournemouth and Brentford, they played to a 0-0 draw. Wolves defeated Liverpool 2-1. West Ham defeated Fulham 1-0. Chelsea defeated Aston Villa 4-1. Arsenal, they were 4-1 winners over Brighton. Manchester City and Nottingham Forest, they played to a 2-2 draw. Newcastle, even though ended that game with 10 men, they were able to defeat Manchester United 2-1, and Crystal Palace defeated 10 men Tottenham 3-1. So, after all is said and done, after round 29, where are we with the standings of the English Premier League? All right, so Arsenal, they are still on top on 67 points, and they have played now 30 games, one more than second place Manchester City, who did drop points after their draw. So they, dropped 2 points. But the good thing about it is that Manchester City still has Arsenal to play. They still have each other to play. And now that I've thought about it, maybe that game will decide who will win the championship. But let's see what's going to happen. So Manchester City, they're in second on 60 points. Manchester United have gone up to third on 51 points. They could have solidified their place in third, their place in third. However, they, of course, lost in the week. So, they're kind of still here, there, and trying to scram who is really going to come third and fourth. Aston Villa, they're in fourth on 51 points, same as Manchester United. However, Manchester United has a superior goal difference. Chelsea, they're in fifth. That's my team, just in case, you guys are wondering. I say it every week. Chelsea, they're in fifth on 48 points. And In sixth is Liverpool on 48 points as well. Chelsea having a better goal difference than Liverpool. So it's still really anybody's game, really between third and sixth as to who is going to finish third, fourth, and fifth. So we'll continue to track that. All right, let's go now to the bottom of the table because I told you, I say to week in, week out, the teams that have been relegated based on just the general knowledge, they are going to come and play their best football. No, because one, as I would have said before, the players, they want to be playing in the English Premier League next year. And so they're either looking for a club to take them on a loan or something. They want to play top flight. And so they're playing their best football now. And that is why Wolves would have won this week. Because, I mean, I think Wolves forward, he would have now scored 3 goals in 2 games. I mean, the man is now on a run. I don't know where he found this form from, but all of a sudden, he's into form. But let's talk about those teams now in the relegation zone. So West Ham, they are just into the relegation zone. Right? But because this is like a developing story, guys. You know what? Let me just take it from who is in 16th place because it's about to get interesting over the next few weeks in the English Premier League. Tottenham. Yes, Tottenham. They're in 16th place on 29 points. Nottingham Forest. They're in 17th place on 28 points. Right? And this is just above the relegation. But let's talk about now the teams in relegation because West Ham is in 18th place. How many points, you might ask? 28 points. So really and truly, right now, I mean, and I would even put Leeds into it based on the amount of games we have left to play for this season. Between Leeds, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, any of those teams, if they slip, they slide right now. It's literally, it's gonna be, I don't know, it's four teams, 3 will stay up and 1 will go down. It's just the reality of what's going on here. All right, Burnley, yeah, okay, they're further adrift. They're on 19 points, and Wolves, of course, cemented at the bottom of the table because I don't know if it can get any worse than this for them. Trust me. 16th place. So we definitely know that Wolves will be playing in the championship next season, and unless some miraculous things happen, I don't know. But maybe we should also look at the games to come to see who has who to play. But maybe next week I'll take a look at that as we approach the end of the season. Maybe when there's maybe 5 games to go or so, I'll do a deeper dive into where they are at and what it means for everybody. I think it's too many games to go now for me to look at that. But closer to the end of the season, I'll definitely be bringing you up to speed. So yeah, that's what's going on in the English Premier League. So I don't know if there are any Tottenham fans out there, but his side really going on very well right now. I mean, it would be sad if Tottenham got relegated, you know. Ain't nobody likes that, but that's really what's going on in English Premier League. Now to the Jamaica Premier League. Of course, we know some of our Jamaica Premier League matches locally would have been disrupted by the week before some of the players representing the national team against Martinique, and then the ongoing under-20 championship as well, you know. That is affecting some of what is going on. But nonetheless, the Jamaica Premier League still goes on. And I want to give you maybe the point standings, the up-to-date point standings, and maybe the games. Well, and definitely the games to come for this week. And then to see what else we have here. All right, so let's first take you to the point standing. And this is now on average. Teams would have played. Yeah, okay. So everybody now would have played 25 games in the Jamaica Premier League. So everybody is now caught up. Yes, everybody's now caught up in the Jamaica Premier League. And so this is a true reflection of what exactly is going on in the table. Montego Bay United, they lead the table on 51 points. Mount Pleasant, they're in second on 46 points. Racing United is third in 45 points. Portmore United, fourth on 43 points. Waterhouse, they're fifth on 37 points. And Cavalier, they're in sixth on 36 points. And of course, it's the top 6 teams that make it to the playoffs in the Jamaica Premier League. Let's talk about now the teams down in the drop zone. Currently, Harborview in 13th place on 21 points, and they are currently 3 points adrift from safety. And then Police, Spanish Town Police, they seem to have, I don't even want to say cemented, because they have had a few victories over the past few weeks. So we might see them making a resurgence at the end of the season. Yeah? Cool. So they're on 18 points in 14th place. All right. So the games to come this week as it relates to next week rather, as it relates to the Jamaica Premier League, because of course Sunday starts a new week. All right. So Portmore United and Treasure Beach, they will play at Freddie Nita Park tomorrow at 3:30. Tivoli Gardens, they will host Dunby Holding at the Edward Siaga Sports Complex at 3:30. Cavalier, they will host Chapelton Maroons at the Stadium East at 4 o'clock. And at 7 o'clock, Arnett Gardens will play Malines United at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Monday night football takes place this week at the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. Monday night or Monday afternoon and evening football takes place at the first game, Harborview versus Racing United. That's 3:30 at the Harborview Mini Stadium. And then it's Waterhouse versus Montego Bay United, 7:30 at the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. So those are the games on for next week in the Jamaica Premier League. And of course, you can stay tuned as we will be giving you the updates as what's going on in the league. As I said at the top of the show, the Jamaica Women's Premier League will restart its season today. And there are 14 teams in the Jamaica Women's Premier League this season. And the 14 teams have been split into 2 groups. So Group A, or Zone A, and Zone B. And when we come back from the break, we're going to be talking about the games today and, just things to look forward to in the Jamaica Women's Premier League this season. We're going to take our first break right here on Sports Talk. We will be right back.
Roll call. The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Rebirth. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs the gospel rhythm. Hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. GYM? Grow your mind? Jim. Get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving all their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Faves at 5. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. with your love jock, your boy, DJ Rebirth. It's all here on the family station, Love 101.
Youth Connection. Shuboti and them figured he provide everything on vibe with we chat. Shuboti and them figured him alone make we appear when we did chat.
Every Saturday, 7 p.m. to midnight on Love 101. You're invited to travel in time with music at its best. It's the Gospel Music Machine with the Gospel Music Master, Nigel Wilkinson. From your favorite choir music to Christian contemporary, a touch of reggae and the Caribbean feel.
Gospel Music Machine, Nigel Wilkinson.
title or play the tune.
Yep, the gospel music master is still playing the tunes down alone. And he's definitely your music master. Saturdays, 7 p.m. to midnight. You won't regret the link. It's on the family station, Love 101.
That is all I need.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal, to serve you better.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. All right, so before the break, we're talking about some football, and we're still talking about football as we're now going to the Jamaica Women's Premier League. And as I said, the league will kick off today, and I will tell you the games and the venues, and of course, just looking support for our ladies. One of the things that stood out to me at the media launch earlier this week for the Jamaica Women's Premier League is that there were 14 ladies from last season, 12 of them who received scholarships to go overseas to play football, and 2 of them received professional scholarships. So that's amazing, especially that last year was the first year really that some of the games were televised or broadcasted. So, scouts could be watching games and seeing how players play, and I'm sure that's how it is that some of them got a chance to get videos to send to their scouts, etc., to get either the scholarships or the professional contracts. And we're hoping for more scholarships and professional contracts coming out of this 2026 season. So that being said, let's talk about the games on today. The first game would have kicked off at the top of the hour, which was 1:00. Proven Girls, they will play Wi-Fi United, and that will happen at the York Sports Complex at 3:30. And at 3:00, let's start with that. We'll have the first of the doubleheader game taking place at the Jerry Nephew Anthony Spalding Sports Complex, which will see Los Perfectos take on the defending champions Fraser's Whip, and that will kick off at 3:00. The second game in that doubleheader kicks off at 6:00, and it will see Arnett Gardens versus Real Mona. At 3:30 today at the UE Bowl, UE Women's will take on Cavalier, and at 3:30 also, Springers United will take on Malgully FC at the Irwin High School. And over at Jarrett Park, Real Mobay will take on Federal United FC. And of course, so of course the teams will be in action today in the Jamaica Women's Premier League. And of course, we will be keeping you posted as it relates to, the scorers, the goals, some of the girls, and maybe have some conversations with some of the coaches as it relates to the rest of this season. All right. Also on in terms of football, earlier this week, or Jamaica women's team, they were in action again against Nicaragua in Nicaragua, and they were able to carve out a 3-2 victory over Nicaragua. Of course, on the back of a brace of Captain Captain Fantastic, I called her Khadija Bonishaw, was a good performance by the Reggae Girls, and with as they look to go on into the qualification World Cup qualifiers, right? CONCACAF women's qualifiers rather. So of course I said they were 3-2 winners over Nicaragua, and so after 2 games, the Reggae Girls are 2 from 2 with 6 points, and they have a plus 19 goal difference. Of course, we remember them defeating, I'm going to say, one of those smaller teams. Well, Dominica, rather, we defeated them 18 goals. So, we are top currently at top of those standings, and we're looking to finish at top of those standings. The next set of games for the Reggae Girls will come up later. I believe it's in April, and those games will be taking place in Jamaica. So we'll get enough time to rally around to support our girls. Of course, just to highlight again the goal scorers for Jamaica, Khadija Bonishaw, she scored in the 37th minute and the 61st minute. And of course, it's now 62 goals for Khadija Bonishaw in her 46th appearance for Jamaica. And then Shania Hales scored in the 68th minute, which is her second goal for Jamaica in her 8th appearance. Just some facts. This is Jamaica's first win over a Central American team since July 2023. We now have 3 wins in a row for the first time since February 2025. And the Jamaica women's team have now scored 25 goals in 3 games. Jamaica is top of the table, as I would have said, heading into the home World Cup qualifiers in April against Antigua and Barbuda on April 10 and versus Guyana on April 18. And of course, we look forward to seeing our girls at the National Stadium. Just in case things gonna get better for us, it certainly did when our under 20 our under 20 team participating in the under 20 championships at their top of the table clash. Now, our team, they either needed to defeat Puerto Rico or draw with Puerto Rico, as we were at the top of the table. It was a top of the table clash. And Jamaica, they defeated Puerto Rico 1-0 with a fantastic free kick from Jabari Howell. And of course, it means that Jamaica has qualified for the 2026 CONCACAF Under-20 Championship, which is slated to run from July 25 to August 19. And so if it is that Jamaica finish in the top 4 of the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship, they will be heading to the 2027 World Cup. Now, if Jamaica finishes second in the table and the USA finishes first in the table in the CONCACAF Championships in July, it means that the Jamaica team will also qualify for the Olympic Games in 2028. Now, USA being host, they automatically will qualify. So if a team either comes first, beating USA in terms of placing, or USA finish at the top of the table, it means that the team that finishes second, they will qualify for the Olympic Games that is to be hosted in Los Angeles in 2028. Now, Jamaica's under-20 team in the championship scored 20 in the qualifiers for the championship, scored 28 goals and kept 5 clean sheets in the qualifiers. I mean, that's just amazing. And trust me, 9-0, 8-0, the guys are just scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring. Let me tell you, this Jamaica under-20 team is not short of any firepower. They're not short of firepower, I tell you. And so we want to say congratulations to the Reggae Girls for their victory over Nicaragua. And we also want to say congratulations to yet another junior or young Reggae Boys team. Of course, 2 weeks ago, our under 17 team would have qualified for the under 17 World Cup. Now our under 20 team has qualified for the CONCACAF championships. This is very good for Jamaica, and it means that we are trying to do something as it relates to the development of football. Well, at least at the junior level for now, and hopefully that will translate when the young Reggae Boys get to old Reggae Boys. Let's see, because we must have a plan, you know. We must have a plan. We can't just be going to World Cups at the junior level and then that doesn't translate at the senior level. But let's see, right? Let's see what's gonna happen for us in as it relates to just, you know, all of this being transitioned. Of course, we're coming up to that time. Despite the uncertainty that's happening in Mexico, the team, as far as I know, still will travel to Guadalajara, Mexico, where they will play in the FIFA World Cup playoffs. And of course, closer to the time, we'll tell you that. What I can tell you is that if you are planning to go to Mexico, the tickets are now on sale, and I think it starts from $11. So if you decide that you want to go to Mexico to see the Reggae Boys, the tickets, they are on sale now, and they, of course, you know how it goes, especially with these international competitions. You have to register and then to be able to buy a ticket. You guys, the people who do the international thing, they know what I'm talking about. You got to register, and then with FIFA, and then you'll be able to purchase your ticket from there. So yeah, congratulations all around again to all our team. Looking forward to the Jamaica Women's Premier League and what is to come for that. And I mean, may football continue to prosper in Jamaica. Talking about prosper, I also wanted to give you, before I shoot to my second break, I wanted to also update you on what is to come in the ISA under 14 and under 16 urban area. It is Jamaica College versus Kingston College in both under 14 and under 16. The games will be played at the Stadium East next Wednesday, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, for those games. So that's the under 14 competitions and the under 16 competitions for the ISA. Keep on saying Manning Cup, you know. In ISA under 14 and under 16, those finals will come up, as I said, next Wednesday at the Stadium East. Both games, Jamaica College and Kingston College will contest both games as they are the two finalists. And then in the rural area under 14, though, that final comes up on Thursday. So Thursday we'll see Garvey Maceo hosting William Nib, and that's the under 14 final, same day, and that one kicks off at 2 o'clock. So the under 14 final is 2 o'clock, the under 16 finals is 4 o'clock. And so on the under 14 finals, I'll say it again, Garvey Maceo, they will play William Nib, and then Cornwall College will play Glenmuir, and both games will be played at Stets. So will be 2 o'clock for the under 14 and 4 o'clock for the under 16, and that's for the rural area. That takes place on Thursday. The urban area, Jamaica College versus Kingston College, in both under 14 and under 16, will take place on Wednesday. We're going to go for a second break right here on Sports Talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Jamaica, the national budget is here and it affects you, your family, your future, your community. It's all connected. Now is the time to get informed and get involved. What's new? What's changing? And how will it impact your daily life? Tune in on Tuesday, March 10 as the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, presents the 2026-27 Central Government Budget. The national budget is everybody's business. Visit mof.gov.jm for more details.
Songs of Zion, singing on the mountain.
Every Monday at 11 a.m. on the family station Love 101, we'll bring you Songs of Zion. Yep, listen in as we'll share with you songs, stories, testimonies from Dr. Carleen Davis, and more. You're sure to be blessed. You're sure to be encouraged. Songs of healing, songs of encouragement, songs that will keep you through the week. Songs of Zion with Dr. Carleen Davis and more. This hour is brought to you by Glory Music. Every Monday at 11 a.m. inside the Morning Express with me, Nadine Blair. Songs of Zion, Mondays at 11 a.m. on the family station Love 101.
Just wipe away all tears from my eyes.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. Now, over the course of last week into this week, or Jamaica Rockets? That's what I mean? I'll soon get it. Jamaica Shooters. Jeez, where Rockets come from in my head? Right. Jamaica Shooters, which is the Jamaica national basketball team. They were in their Olympic qualifiers or World Cup qualifiers, FIBA World Cup qualifiers, rather. See, Olympics is still on my mind, guys. But FIBA World Cup qualifiers, they would have played Bahamas on the Thursday, so that would have been last week Thursday, and then on Sunday they would have taken on Canada. Now, fortunately for me, while I was covering the games, I met this amazing young lady from London, England. Her name is Darnell, and she is with me today in studio. Good afternoon, Darnell. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming. Okay, first, guys, I promise you we're going to talk about basketball. But before, let's hear a little bit from you, Darnell, in terms of, because you were here vacationing a little?
Yeah, just coming to rest.
Just coming to rest, but decided to work.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more now about what you do just generally.
Yeah, so typically I work behind the scenes in sport. I normally do events operations. So I've worked for organizations like the NBA, the Commonwealth Games, and then local basketball organizations in London. But then I've also dibble-dabbled in sports media, which I do enjoy from time to time. So when this opportunity came from my friend Charlotte, I was like, yeah, like it's basketball and Jamaica, why not? So yeah.
Yeah. And then in terms of how long have you been in terms of background, in terms of sports, and of course in sports media generally?
How old am I now? 31, probably like 15 plus years, I'd say, give or take. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then what's your connection to Jamaica?
Oh, so my parents are both Jamaican. So I'm obviously Jamaican too, but through my parents. Dad's born here, mum born in the UK, but my nanny and grandparents were born here. And my nan still lives here. So yeah.
Okay, great. I mean, as I said, I mean, good people know good people. I mean, I think we just connected right off the bat. You know, we decided to talk to each other in the press conference. But now let me get your thoughts. Let's start with the Bahamas game, Darnell. How was the crowd for you? Because like me, and for you, this was the first time Jamaica was having something like this. Yeah. How was just the experience of watching the game for you before we go into the details of the game itself?
I would say the atmosphere was amazing. If you think of like just Jamaican fans, anywhere you go, doesn't matter where you are, like that's what it was. And I thought it was really they just backed the team, like from the beginning to the end, sorry. And it's funny because I'd imagine not many people knew basketball, but it didn't matter. They were there rooting for the boys. So it was nice. It was a good atmosphere.
Yeah, it was definitely a good. I wouldn't say a lot of people don't know about basketball. I think because they've never really had this type of opportunity to see this level of basketball, because you see them, I mean, you see Jamaicans all the time supporting whoever players in the NBA or stuff like that. So it's, they're exposed to it. It's just having this level of basketball happening in the country was just amazing. All right, let's talk about now the game itself. The game ended pretty close. Had 15 lead changes throughout the game. Bahamas, they came out on top of the game. But did you think it was a good win for the Bahamas, or did you think the Jamaicans gave up the game?
Oh, they gave up the game. Jamaica was leading every quarter but the last quarter. Of course. So I think the score was 66-69. Right. So yeah, they Jamaica let it go at the end. Very unfortunate, because I thought that game was theirs up until, again, the last quarter. But yeah, no, I don't, in the nicest way, I don't think Bahamas were playing their hearts out and they were a better team. Far from it. I think Jamaica were the better team up until the last quarter. And then I think, like you said, because it's one of the highest levels that the teams played, it's about experience, right? And Bahamas is ranked higher than Jamaica. So we have to take that into perspective. So, but overall, Jamaica played really well, but it's just very unfortunate that they let slip in the last quarter.
Yeah, definitely. Because I don't know, it was, I really thought we had it in the bag, people off the air. Right. I really, really thought we had it in the bag. I just don't know what happened in the fourth quarter. We just started to turn over the ball recklessly. And then things kind of just, it's the one or two things that you do in basketball that just catch up to you in that final quarter. And unfortunately, I mean, Bahamas won, but you know how it goes. Because I mean, by the time we get to the next, round of qualifiers, they will have their strong team, because the NBA will be done, and hopefully, hopefully they will have their, or maybe not hopefully, but they will probably have their members from the NBA. I mean, we only have one person. I mean, one person against like 3 or 4. I don't know about that. All right, so. Disappointing loss, and we knew that the bigger challenge was going to be against Canada, Sunday's game. But let me tell you, the crowd didn't matter that Canada was the number 5 ranked team, because Daniel, tell them what happened on Sunday, because you thought Thursday was loud.
Oh yeah, my eardrums were gone by the end of that game. Yeah, that energy on a Sunday was mad. Yeah.
I can tell you, everybody that came to the stadium or the National Indoor Sports Center on Sunday, clearly they had Sunday dinner, because let me tell you, listen, I was there, and I got there maybe half an hour before the game started. And I got there, the music was blazing. The horns were going. When I got there, people were lined up to come in. I mean, thank God for the press pass, because I was like, I don't know if I can manage those lines. But generally, though, what are your thoughts on the game now in terms of from a Jamaica perspective? Because I really thought that Jamaica would have, I guess, come out different that they did against Bahamas. But it started the same way, and I was like. First of all, the 3-pointers. Canada was dropping 3-pointers left, right, and center. And I'm like, why are we not running them off the 3-point line? But let me hear from you. Cause
I think, like I said earlier, I think experience matters. So you do see the difference in experience. And again, because I'm from London, I watch a lot of European basketball and obviously international basketball. And you can just tell the difference, even in regards to fitness. So with Canadian teams and even some of the American teams and some of the big European teams, they're able to go up and down the court. Like everybody on that bench can go up and down the court and still have a certain standard. And the problem is you have to understand your game. So Canada is a fast team. So if they're going really fast, if you match them, you're going to get tired. And you saw quite early that they got quite tired. And then I think Kofi got 3 fouls by quarter 2. Kofi's really significant for this team, like really, really important. And you saw that difference in experience, but also I personally felt like fitness as well. They did well though. Believe it or not, I do think they did really well. It is the 5th or 6th ranking team in the world. That's a big deal. I think Jamaica didn't just give it to them. They didn't say, "Here, have it." Like far from, they were put to work as well.
Right. And there were some points. Jamaica had good points in the game, and I hope that they could have sustained that. But as Darnell said, match fitness is a big thing. Big thing, and you could see like after halftime, people are like, and I'm like, they're just tired. Like they didn't have much to give. The coach spoke about using small or going small for one of the quarters, which I think was a good thing because it did show fruitful results. But again, I don't know how fruitful it was because Canada would have known that they would have won the game, and I think they kind of seemed to take their foot off the pedal coming into the 3rd and 4th quarter. Darnell, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, for sure. You saw the difference in tactics from the coach as well. I would say that coach, is it Turner? He was a lot more vocal in the Canadian game in comparison to the Bahamas game.
Definitely.
So there was a lot more direction you saw from the bench, which was nice to see. But I just think it comes down to the better team. And then unfortunately, in this case, it wasn't Jamaica.
Yeah. But yeah, so overall, it was a great experience. I mean, for me, for us, to be able to cover basketball at this level in Jamaica. And we're hoping that some way, somehow, we'll be able to cover more of this coming up in Jamaica. So I mean, Darnell, let me ask you, because you are on the other side of the world, but do you follow the NBA?
Yeah, I follow the
NBA. Do you have a team?
Yeah, I'm a Lakers girly.
No, hold on. Let's just hold on. Let's just pause for a second. Are you a Lakers girl since when?
Oh no! Since I was introduced to basketball, my coach was a Lakers.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No. Right.
Because all of a sudden Lakers have all these fans because of you know who.
Of course.
I don't talk about him really on this show because my listeners and viewers on Facebook and YouTube know that he's not my favorite person.
Touche.
He's very talented, and I acknowledge his talent, but he's not my favorite person. It's just one of those things, you just don't like them. He's not my favorite. I don't want anybody to beat me because when I call his name on this show, I tell you, the listeners, they message me like, do not talk about the great like that. So,
but the great as in Kobe Bryant.
Okay. See?
Just saying. Just
guys, let me tell you, Darnell is gonna come every time she's in Jamaica, she's gonna come here and talk on the show, okay? Let me tell you that, okay? Because real, and she's a Kobe Bryant fan. I just want all the others out there to know that. Great. Anyways. But yeah, so when do you return? Or when do you
next week actually.
Next week.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to link up once again when you come back to Jamaica. Thank you so much for coming through. And it was great hanging out with you for the 2 games that we had. So yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. All right. We're gonna go to our final break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, we'll be talking about Carifta trials happening in Jamaica. But I have to talk about some cricket because Dr. Love from New York. Yeah, Dr. Love. If I don't talk about cricket, Dr. Love is not gonna. Right. We'll be right back.
On March
March 28 at 6 p.m., John Mark Wigan presents his album launch, By Fire, live at the Jamaica College Auditorium. A 4D immersive worship experience where the atmosphere and the music pull you into the journey of refinement. By Fire features the likes of Kevin Downswell, Rondell Positive, Alicia Taylor, Gilead Collective, and more. General tickets are on sale, 4,000. Comfort tickets, 10,000. Tickets can be purchased at Jamaica Youth for Christ and Green Room Studios. Tickets are also available online at SpurOpen.com. It's By Fire. Be there.
Hey, my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status, if you consider the least you ever test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late, so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Really long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Do an HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Really long life, our story. Real long life for youth, coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station Love 101 FM as we head into our final segment. Okay, before we do, let me get some comments from my great listeners. Carolyn says it's a sports fan heaven right now. That is true. So much trying to watch it all. Big qualifiers for Java, big deal for Jamaica. ICHS Worlds to the World. That's Immaculate Conception High School. And she said, we celebrate love and basketball. Check out the Easter competition, which I did. I am actually. Also, the Java competition. Phase 1 is doing good for the young ballers. Basketball, a guan man. And then she said that she missed the Jamaican games. This is all from Kylie now. She missed the Jamaican games, but she did make it to a NBA game to try to make up. Oh, Kylie, I envy you for that NBA game. She said she watched Go to Makeup, which is, I don't know. And is this LeBron that you're referring to, Caroline? And she said, GSW fan, even OKC, no Lakers. Kylie, I don't know, and I can't be bothered with you at all. All right. Olga says, don't worry, my girls will be at the World International for the 3rd time, and my leader, Bonnie Shaw, is going to take them there. Oh, the Steph Curry movie. Yes, Caroline, I need to go. Okay, Caroline, I get you. And then she said, can you? Okay, all right, cool. So, right now, let's talk about in my last 3 minutes of the show. Thanks for the feedback, Caroline, Olga, Dr. Love. Big ups. Thanks to you all. All right, so the ICC T20 Men's Championship will conclude tomorrow with a smashing finals. It's gonna be New Zealand versus India. Host Team India, guys. What just happened? Right, against host India. I mean, truth be told, I'm very proud of the West Indies because they did better than I expected. However, I really thought South Africa was going to go on with something. Right. New Zealand literally obliterated South Africa earlier this week. Literally in the semifinals. South Africa they were limited to 169 for 8 in their semifinal. New Zealand, they made 173 for 1. 12.5 overs, guys. New Zealand, 12.5 overs, 173 rather for 1. And of course, New Zealand won that game by 9 wickets. Then in the second semifinal, which took place on Thursday, India played England. And to be honest, people, When I saw India made 253 for 7 of their 20 overs, I was like, yeah, it's game over. I did not imagine that India would have made England score 246 runs, just 7 runs short of a victory, of the victory. And I'm like, India started to get careless, man. But beyond all of that, of course, beyond what is going on in terms of on the field, off the field, happening in the Middle East, and of course has affected a lot of teams, including the West Indies, including South Africa, unable to leave. I think just about this morning or so, maybe able to leave India or Sri Lanka. I'm trying to remember where they were. Right. In terms of what's going on in the war. I don't even know what's going on. Right. And so we saw some of the West Indies players. They spoke out about wanting to be with their family. And I can just imagine you are disappointed that you dropped out of the competition. And then you are now stuck in the middle of like when you jump out of a competition, you just want to go to your yard and not being able to go home. I can just imagine the mental toll that would have taken, that would have just been on the West Indies is from when them to put. It's a good look a while now, last week almost how much do you know them over there? Only per days that. Oh, it's a lot of days. They would have probably been with their family in 2 days or 1.5 days, and to be almost another week still within the area, I can just imagine. All right, so now on to know what's going on in the Karishta Games, because I have to tell you what's going on in the Karishta Games. The Karishta Trials. I keep on saying Karishta Games, guys. We don't reach this yet. Karishta Games, do not follow me. The Karishta Games come up after Boys and Girls Champs on the Easter weekend. But the Karishta Trials for Jamaica, it's on at the National Stadium. Cool? Great. That's what I want to give you the update on, because last evening in the 100 meters, I don't know. Let me tell you something. I just want to say this. The world in general will not be beating us anytime soon. Let me just say that, because we just keep on putting out stars and upon stars upon stars upon stars upon stars. Okay? So, for all the people out there, global people, you think, as the Jamaican saying says, as one gone and next one born. Yeah, man, that's us on track and field. That's us on track and field. As one gone, another one born. Right? Like clockwork. But let's now talk about the 100-meter finals and those that took place last night. Right? Let's talk about that, because we had some cracking finals yesterday evening. Let's start with the under 17 girls. That was won by Rihanna Scott of Ferncourt in a time of 11.68 seconds. Second was Azaria Harris from Convent of Mercy Alpha, 11.69. And of course, it's the top two that go to the Karishta Games. And of course, we have then they will make up the others some of them will make up the relay pool, depending on who doubles in terms of 1-2. In the boys under 17 finals, Kai Kelly, Jamaica College, 10.44 seconds. Now, Kai Kelly's only 16, and even though it was a positive win in terms of, I would say, over the limit, that's what they say, because anything over 2.0 would be considered as illegal win, right? But he ran 10.44 to finish first. Second was Joshua Ricketts from Calabar, 10.49, and Javane Clayton from Calabar finished third in 10.51. Now on to the girls under 20 finals. No, we know this young lady from last year. She as even from before last year, because she's now in class 1, and this young lady would have started at Mushet High School. I'm speaking of Shania Douglas. Started at Mushet High School, started out doing the 200, 400 meters. Then she decided she wanted to do the 100 and 200 meters. Her coach was leaving Holland Mushet and heading to Holland, and she's like, hey, my coach and I have been working out. I am going to move to Holland too. So she's now at Holland High. Yesterday, people, listen to the time. This young lady is 19 years old, right? 11.06 seconds at 19. Shania Douglas, Holland High. 11.06 seconds. You know how many older athletes don't run 11.06? Do you know how fast 11.06 is? And she did that with a positive 1.5 wind speed, which means that the run was legal, right? Second is the ever-improving Netrice East of Wilma's girls. She was second, 11.53 seconds, and Renisa Edwards was third from Edwin Allen in a time of 11.58 seconds. And of course, for those who are watching, would have known that something kind of missed yesterday at the National Stadium, and they had Netrice East into fourth, but fortunately that was corrected. Then on to the boys 100-meter finals under 20, right? Coming into this talk, right, even not online, there was talk of, I think there was Sandra Seymour, Tyrese Foreman, Kimani Gordon, Johan Romaldo Smythe, of course, teammate of Shania Douglas. Everybody was speaking, and nobody really mentioned this young man's name, Riquelme Reed of Excelsior. And let me tell you, Riquelme Reed, Excelsior, on the 20 champion in the 100 meters, 11.16 seconds. Second was Sanjay Seymour of William Knibb, 10.20 seconds. And third, Nyron Wade of Kingston College, 10.22 seconds. And so, of course, we have the trials. The top two, they will compete at the Carifta Games. Of course, if they are fit, because if, God forbid, something happens over the next 2 weeks to an athlete, it means that we would have to replace them. And we don't want that, because we know chances coming up, and we want everybody to be at their fittest, as we want a fantastic championships going, and of course heading into the Carifta Games, which is 1 week after champs. Yes, Carolyn, Carifta is hot. Shania, 11.06. I still can't get over that. 11.06, and I think she can go faster. That's just me. Is 10.99 under threat? The record by Alana Reed. It could be. Maybe not right now, but it could be. I don't even know if in 3 weeks, it could be in 3 weeks, but let's see, it could be on the third, maybe by the end of the season. I don't know. I just think that Shania can go faster, and I still think she is built for the 200, 400, because if you know me, the first thing I said when I saw Shania Douglas was that she runs like Allyson Felix. This girl, she's her running style, just her body type reminds me so much of Allyson Felix. Of course, we know Allyson Felix has won many medals for the USA, world championships, Olympic medals, 200 meter, 4x4, 4x1. I mean, I don't know. Just medal fantastic. But yeah, so next week we'll be able to give you a full roundup of what would have happened at the Carifta trials. Of course, the trials is still happening at the National Stadium. It goes up this evening, and of course it goes into tomorrow. So if you want to go by the stadium, take in some trials, that's good. That's good. Let's support our young athletes. All right, that's all the time we have left on the show today. It was fantastic being with you as usual right here on the family station. This has been Sports Talk. We do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the 101.1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. My name is Kathya Davis. Good afternoon, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye bye.